Hello, and welcome to the 2022-2023 season recap for my Tottenham Hotspur 2022-2023 goalkeeper kit quest. And as you kind of see here, we've reached the end of the 2022-2023 season, so I'm going to just kind of go over where we finished in the league, various competitions, any transfers we may have made in the January transfer window, and any time after that. Kind of look at the season stats for our players and kind of the Premier League in general. And then probably at the end will be a little bit of footage of some important moments and whatnot. So kind of scroll over here so we can see the news. As you see, Tottenham Hotspur double up. So we had a much better end to the season than I was kind of expecting, and it honestly kind of surprising. Kind of we'll go through kind of some of those how things kind of panned out and whatnot. But let's start here with the standing. So, Premier League, as you can see, Tottenham, we finished top of the Premier League and won Tottenham's first Premier League title with a total of 81 points, narrowly beating out Liverpool in the title race, who finished second with 80. And the title race kind of filled with ups and downs. There were some matches that we should have won that I was playing that we ended up drawing and whatnot, but kind of looked like it was going to come down to the last match of the season, but after match week 37, we played Southampton at home. We won that match 3-0 with a Kane brace and a goal from Kulusevski with assists from Poirot and Winks. And that gave us a 4 point gap at the top going into the final match day, which, as you potentially can see, oh, you can't see here. Let me scroll down. Final match day. We actually faced off against Liverpool, so the match could have been of the very much utmost importance, depending on how the result against Southampton went. But going into it, we were clear with them at the top. We had won the title, and that game ended with a 3-0 Liverpool victory, as you can see, but didn't really matter in the end because we had won the Premier League title. So that's a pretty excellent outcome. The record: 25 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses. Pretty respectable goal differential. As you We were at kind of top end of the offense of the league. Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City all had very similar offenses to us. Excuse me. But we had the lowest goals against in the league. Really solid at the back through Hugo Lloris and the rest of the defense. So we were very solid, and that helped us to win the title. Looking at the FA Cup, that ended up being won by Manchester City over Liverpool in the final. How we did in the FA Cup, we made it to round 5, much as Tottenham did in real life, and we faced off against Southampton. It was a pretty rotated side that I kind of put out there, just because it was in the middle of a kind of run area of fixtures in between Champions League ties and whatnot, and we lost that match 2-3. So we bounced out of the FA Cup in round 5. Looking at the Carabao Cup or the EFL Cup, whatever you want to call it, that ended up being captured by West Ham, defeating Arsenal 2-1 in the final, and we actually made it to semifinals of the Carabao Cup. As you can see, Arsenal won that 3-2 on aggregate. But both of those matches, using my kind of method of the last 5 results, running a randomizer, seeing what happens. Both of them, even though Tottenham's record against Arsenal has been great, there was one win in there, and as kind of luck would have it, landed on play for both of them. But in the first leg, which was the away leg of the Carabao Cup semifinals, I played pretty poorly, to be honest, giving up some bad goals from in and around the box just because me not being great and the game's AI defending not being great either. So we lost that leg 1-3. And in the second leg, we scored very early. I think it was in the 7th minute, Son goal with a Kane assist, but we weren't able to find an equalizer to kind of the second goal to send this leg to extra time, and we lost, which is unfortunate. But considering how the rest of the season ended with us winning the title and whatnot, can't be too upset that we dropped the Carabao Cup. looking at the European competitions, just in general, the Europa Conference League is Fiorentina beat West Ham in the final of that 2-0. The Europa League is Manchester City, I'm guessing after getting bounced in the group stage of the Champions League, must have fallen down to the Europa League, and they dominated that competition and beat Benfica 3-0 in the final. And then the Champions League. It's kind of, if you want to kind of go through, as you can see here, Tottenham, we beat Real Madrid 1-0 in the final. So we kind of want to go through it. Round of 16, we were matched up against Napoli. Both those, because we lost and drew the 2 legs against AC Milan in real life, are both sim. The first leg was a 2-3 defeat away at Napoli with goals from Kulusevski and Kane. Then the home leg, we beat Napoli 4-2 for an aggregate total of 6-5 with a Kulusevski brace and then goals from Lenglet and Son. Quarterfinals, we matched up against Liverpool, kind of in a rematch of the 2019 Champions League final. The first leg, I kind of used the randomizer method. We landed on reroll at first, then I re-rolled it and landed on play in the first leg, which was away to Liverpool at Anfield, and we won that 2-0 with goals from Bentancur and Kane. And then the second leg was at home, which ended up going into extra time to settle it. But even though Liverpool technically won the match 3-4, we had beaten them out in aggregate with goals from Kane, Perisic, and Kulusevski in extra time to advance to the semifinals of the Champions League. Semifinal, we got matched up against Dortmund, who I didn't really realize Tottenham have had a pretty excellent record against. The kind of handful of times they've played in European competitions. So the first leg I played, which was a away leg again, Tottenham were on the road at first at Borussia Dortmund. We won 4-1 in the first leg with goals from Son, Porro, Kulusevski, and Kane, with all 3 of the goal scorers chipping in with assists as well, and Perisic assisting on Son's goal. The second leg was at home, which was a 2-0 defeat, but again, Dortmund couldn't make up the difference, so we won 4-3 in aggregate. That game was simmed. As you can see, Champions League final, we matched up against the kind of kings of the Champions League, Real Madrid, but we were able to nick that match 1-0, and that was a sim. Well, it was a re-roll, and then re-rolled it into a sim to simulate the match. And this one, just like I kind of see the like the scenes at the end where they host the trophy and all that stuff. Instead of doing like the kind of quick sim that I usually I've done for all the other matches I've simmed this season, I did kind of the slow sim where it's like they have like a little picture of the field and like the circles for the players. You kind of like see what's going on as it's going on, so you can like manually make substitutions and like change formation and like potentially even hop into the match if you want to. So that it was very tense affair, kind of a little bit of back and forth action. But in the 77th minute, Kulusevski found Kane with a nice pass. I'm assuming it just looked like circles, so I couldn't really tell what the pass looked like. But Kane was able to finish with a nice finish and put Tottenham up 1-0. Real Madrid pressed and they couldn't find an equalizer to send the match to extra time or penalties or anything like that. And we held on for a 1-0 win to secure the double, which is really nice finish to the season. In terms of the ownership objectives, looking at the youth development, I was able to kind of sign the 4 youth players that the board was looking for, so we completed that objective. The long-term one we're ignoring, so it doesn't really matter. The brand exposure was we get 20 wins, you kind of saw from record earlier. We got 25 wins in the league, so we exceeded the board's expectations there. And as I explained in the previous update, we had signed Lewis Dunk to complete the sign one veteran player objective. In terms of financial, we're basically there, increasing the club worth by 25%. So probably at the beginning of next season or halfway through at some point, if we do player sales or in the preseason tournament victory or anything like that, we should be able to hit that objective. Domestic success was to finish in Champions League place. We won the league. That's Champions League place, so we're good there. FA Cup, as I explained, we got knocked out in round 5 by Southampton, so we didn't complete that objective. But I think the board will take Champions League and the Premier League over the FA Cup any day. Continental success. They wanted us to reach the semi-final, and we won the Champions League. So all in all, pretty good season. So as you can kind of see, our manager rating kind of thing is a thumbs up. It's reasonable, probably just because we didn't complete that one objective, but we shouldn't have any worries about getting fired because we won the league and whatnot. In terms of squad and transfers, as I kind of talked about, Eric Dyer was on the way out. In the last update, Eric Dyer was on the way out. Jean-Claire Todibo was on the way in, and he was kind of our starting excuse me, center back in the back three. He's done very well for us there. Interceptions, blocks, all that good stuff. He was doing very well. Another one, the big thing was Clement Longley. And let me just double check which match it was. It was the away North London Derby in the Premier League, which we won 3-0 on Sim. Longley picked up a quad injury and was going to be out for the next 3 months. That was after the transfer window, so our only options would have been to potentially recall Joe Rodon from his loan. Well, it kind of ends up being that we were almost at the end of the season. We had gotten bounced in the FA Cup, so all we had was pretty much Champions League and Premier League. I was like, Ben Davis can kind of handle the extra minutes, pretty much starting every game for the rest of the season, and he did. And he did a pretty decent job filling in for that. Excuse me. Kind of in terms of looking at player stats, oh, there we go. EA being A, the game isn't. It's a bug. Let's go back in there. In terms of goals, you look at it, offense is pretty, as you kind of would expect, pretty heavily carried by our front three, with Kane having 36 goals in all competitions and winning the Premier League Golden Boot with 28 goals in the Premier League. And he was also the most assists in that season with 15 in the Premier League, so that's pretty good. Yeah, no, it was 12 in the Premier League, sorry. But that was enough, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, that was enough to have the most assists in the Premier League, so he kind of swept those kind of award categories. And Decky with 21 goals in all competitions, 11 in the Premier League. And then Son with 21 goals, one less assist though, with 11 in total. It's pretty good. Richarlison chipped in with double-digit goal tallies, most of which came in the Champions League, with 6 goals in the Champions League, 2 goals in the Prem, 2 in the FA Cup, 1 in the Carabao Cup. Perisic, 8 and 8, pretty good tally for him, which he, after the January transfer with Endo, I had gotten a transfer offer from Lazio for him, so Perisic will be moving to Lazio once the next season starts, and basically will be replaced in the lineup by Destiny Udogie. Bentancur 5 and 5, pretty good. Porro 4 goals, 10 assists, another standout. And here you kind of see contributions of everyone else. Reguilon, decent loan spell with good numbers in the Champions League. Papsar, decent on his loan spell with West Ham. Is he assisting on as well? The number of assists from the left wing back position. Kind of rounding out our goal scorer. Looking at the clean sheets. Hugo Lloris, 24 clean sheets in all competitions, including 17 in the Premier League, which led the league, so he won the Golden Glove. And it's kind of, as I was talking way at the beginning, is this, even though he had a pretty phenomenal season, his overall has dropped 3 points. Excuse me. Pretty much because he's 36. So next season, so he might have 1 or 2 more seasons in. We'll kind of keep going until he wants to retire. We'll see. Especially because this was already technically a success because he won 2 trophies. So I will be, bringing in a goalkeeper kit from 2022-2023 season, which you can kind of see Hugo sporting right there, looking pretty good. But so yeah, we'll keep going for a couple of seasons until Hugo probably retires, either after next season potentially or the season after that. But the other transfer business, Kulusevski, because I was looking to potentially move him on and bring in Michael Elise. I got a couple offers post the January transfer window for him, but couldn't reach terms with any of the clubs that offered. I think it was like RB Leipzig offered, Manchester City offered, but I immediately rejected because I'm not going to sell a player to Manchester City. And then Bayern came in with a deal. We also couldn't agree terms with them. So hopefully, kind of in the next season, someone will come in. And we can bring in someone like Michael Olise to the system. Even though Decky did a good season, he doesn't really fit what we're trying to do in terms of theme here for the squad. So he will be moved on. And I think pretty much that's kind of it. Transfers, as I kind of said, we moved on. We've moved on Perisic to Lazio, £7 million. Kulusevski, as you can see, tried to get around his market value from Bayern, Leipzig, whatnot, but they wouldn't bite. And then the only other one who's here is Brooklyn Lions Foster. He didn't really want to go anywhere after accepting some transfers for him, kind of back in the August window time. His contract will expire. He'll move on. He sucks in the game. It's not a big deal. And the only other kind of, as you kind of see from here, that's why we're here, not more on the squad hub. Other expiring contracts, Alfie Whiteman, his contracts will be run down and he'll be let go because we'll have enough players to count for the club, the homegrown 8 for the Premier League, which is a little more lenient, and we will have, even with him leaving, we'll have enough for the kind of club trained 4 players with Brandon Austin, Tanganga, Skip, Kane, and Winks for next season's Champions League and whatnot. So we don't really need him anymore as a backup, like basically 4-string goalkeeper. We'll keep Aaron Foster and Austin and whatnot, and they'll kind of make up the numbers for that. And Arnaut Danjuma, he was pretty decent on loan. It's kind of just a quick double check because I didn't like really highlight his stats in particular. But there you go. 32 appearances, 4 goals, 6 assists. Some of them pretty kind of clutch in some matches. So it was a pretty decent loan spell for him, but he doesn't really fit what we're going for in terms of theme. So he'll be going back to Villarreal and basically replaced with Brian Hill for like a couple seasons until we're ready to move Brian Hill on for someone either homegrown or if someone else I'll probably end up finding out. I'll mention more specifically in a future episode. But kind of with that, we've kind of gone through how we finished, any of the transfer business did and whatnot. As you kind of see, we didn't really spend that much in the transfer market. We still have £97 million left over just because there weren't many players that we had to move out and replace. And the one who we kind of would have replaced and had to kind of spend big money on was Kulusevski, but you couldn't move him on, so we didn't have to spend big money on at least any or like anyone else to replace him. So we'll have a pretty sizable transfer budget for next season. We're probably going to have to do a lot more business just with the amount of players that we're already on 2 years left in their deal that were out on loan. Then any players that now at the beginning of next season's deals will be at 2 years left to kind of move on and get the squad where we want it to be for Hugo's potentially last season. And we'll see how that turns out. I think it might be his last season just because his overall's already dropped by 3, and who knows how much it'll drop. He might just like end up halfway through the season and be like, I'm going to retire. And it'll be what it be because we've won a double, so we've kind of completed the main objective of the Jersey Quest and gotten some trophies, both individual. Hugo getting the Gold Glove for is leading the Prem clean sheets and getting the double. So that's what kind of keep going, just to have fun with it, kind of mold the squad a little bit more, see if we could potentially defend our titles in the Champions League and the Premier League, and maybe next season pick up the Community Shield we'll have against, I think it was West Ham who won the FA Cup. No, they won the Carabao Cup, so I think it was Man City who won the FA Cup. So against Man City we'll have the Community Shield, then we'll have the Super Cup also against Man City, I guess, because they won the Europa League. So we'll have those 2 kind of initial trophies we can go for at the beginning of next season, and maybe we'll try and get the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Maybe it'll be our focus. So even if I have to sim matches, I'll probably put out like a stronger squad for those. But yeah, so that's kind of it for me for now. Kind of here at the end of you'll probably see some footage of. I mean, a couple. I think the like highlights or whatever from our win at home against Man City, because there's some good goals in there and a nice save from Hugo on Erling Haaland. Excuse me. And then last but not least, the kind of footage from us winning Premier League on the last day, kind of hosting up the title on the last day of the season, and then ceremony winning the Champions League against Real Madrid. So that'll kind of be what you'll see after I stop talking. Thank you, and I guess look out in the future for the kind of halfway through the season update for the next 2023-2024 season. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably just kind of do that because I kind of already went through this at the beginning of this, kind of who was going to stay, who was going to go in general, in the bigger picture, so I don't have to do like a start of the season update. Next season, I'll kind of just do the halfway through the season update, which I'll go over the transfer business and whatnot. Again, thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Game.
And it's a goal for Newcastle United. The score's level again now at 1-1 with 10 minutes left on the clock.
And still a chance. Bissouma. Back to Bentancur. Bentancur with it. Kane. Will it be Harry Kane? Oh, they've done it! They forged ahead, and it might be the goal that gives them victory.
Well, let's have another look, because this is a goal they have thoroughly deserved. They've played really well so far.
Test this, given the 2-1 scoreline. And the electronic board has been held aloft. 3 additional minutes here. Oh, he's really opened them up here. Richarlison. Can they stop it going in? And there it is! An almost intuitive piece of finishing.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time.
Well, when you see this again, I think the goalkeeper's very unlucky. He makes a good initial save, but the ball comes off of him, rebounds straight to an attacker, and the finish is excellent.
Takes aim. Well, there is the opening goal. The pressure finally telling, and they get their due reward.
Hang on, Derek, what a chance this is.
In it goes! 2 goals in rapid-fire fashion, and looking very comfortable here. How about the cross? Very alert defending to cut. Chance to finish. Oh, a goal! And a moment the goalkeeper would like to forget all about. Well, diving magnificently to make sure he got there. Well, both teams have had substitutes warming up. Good technique displayed. A City corner it is. Well, in a way, this game had an academic quality about it. Everyone here, including the players, just waiting for the moment when they can celebrate their accomplishments. The trophy will soon be theirs.
Well, it's been a long wait, but it's worth it. Celebrating in front of their own fans. They've been excellent this season. They fully deserve to be the champions.
And that is a vivid picture of what we associate with this group of players. It's all about the team ethic. You can see what it means to this tight-knit team. Real solidarity.
Well, this is special for everybody at the club. What a great moment for any young player. And this is what you dream about when you start playing football. When you're playing in the playground, you want to win a cup. Brilliant moment.
It's a special moment in the career of any footballer. And now for the trophy lift itself. The cup winners.
Well, you can just see what it means to those players and the manager. That's fantastic stuff.
There's always the element of chance in a cup competition. But my goodness, they've taken the rough with the smooth. And now they savour the moment.
Well, for some of these players, it will be the pinnacle of their careers. They just have to take it all in now and realise what they've achieved here. It doesn't come much better than this, does it? And just look at those fans. They've followed their club everywhere.
Yeah, really a match made in heaven between players and fans. And these celebrations are going to continue for quite some time. And now the players get to relax a bit and enjoy having the pictures taken.
Well, these photos will be cherished for years to come, won't they? Certainly ones to show the grandchildren.
I'll tell you what, it's official now. Tottenham Hotspur have been crowned Club Kings of Europe.
Well, just look at the emotions out there. Joy and relief on one side, despair and heartache on the other. But we've got the right winners here. They fully deserved it on the night.
For these players, well, it's the night of their lives. And they're determined to enjoy every millisecond.
Well, they have to make the most of this, don't they? It's a great feat. What an achievement from them.
Well, they don't need to be reminded about what comes next. It's the presentation of the coveted Champions League trophy.
Well, there's some tired players out there, but what you can be sure of, they'll find some energy when they get their hands on the trophy. They'll be going mad in the next few moments.
Tottenham, Champions League winners.
Well, this is what they wanted. What a moment for these players. They've worked so hard to win this trophy. They've been fantastic.
And you can feel the emotion. It's natural to reflect on this final, but so much hard work has gone into the entire campaign. Memories, memories. What would a celebration be without the chance to enjoy it with your own supporters?
Well, these fans have certainly played their part, haven't they? They'll savour these moments. They've travelled far and wide to follow their team. They're loving every minute of this, and why not? They deserve it.
A performance of fire as well as ice. They held their nerve when that was necessary. And these celebrations will run long into the night.
Well, these are the moments they have to make the most of. It doesn't happen very often, does it? These will be photos to cherish for years to come. Brilliant stuff.
And you are looking at the best club side in Europe.